Is Iran going ballistic again? As a sudden missile warning flashes across Dubai phones and drags the Gulf back to the edge of panic in a matter of seconds? Dubai phones erupt with a missile alert, and in an instant the easy calm of the skyline gives way to old Gulf panic, with residents wondering if they are now in the firing line. A missile alert rocks Dubai and then vanishes without explanation, leaving millions asking what really happened in those tense minutes when everyone feared the worst. Is Dubai the next target if the Iran crisis explodes again? And can the Emirate stay out of the crosshairs while missiles and drones fly across the region? Officials later insist the missile alerts were triggered by a technical malfunction, but the brief jolt is enough to show how jumpy the entire region has now become. Minutes after the scare, Abu Dhabi is already on the phone to Tehran, scrambling to save a fragile calm that now feels one false move away from collapse. Honor the ceasefire or risk war spilling into the Gulf is the message Sheikh Abdullah pushes to Iran, warning that any slip could drag the Emirates into the storm. The UAE insists the region now needs full commitment to agreements, arguing that only total discipline can stop fresh hostilities from spilling over into Gulf cities. The Emirati foreign minister demands respect for sovereignty and good neighborliness at sea, signaling that maritime harassment and stray missiles will not be tolerated. All this unfolds just after Iranian missiles reportedly crippled America's most important base in the Middle East, proving how quickly the balance of fear can shift. Around 8,000 Iranian missiles and drones are said to have hammered the US base in Bahrain, turning what was once a symbol of dominance into a lesson in vulnerability. Reports say America was forced to abandon its main command center there, a stunning retreat that raises questions about how secure any Gulf hub really is. Iranian missiles pierced US defenses and wrecked the Bahrain base, showing that even layered shields can fail, and hinting at what might happen if Gulf cities were ever next in line. Iranian strikes on US military bases during the war reportedly prompted Washington to review the future of its Gulf military footprint, according to Wall Street Journal. US officials are reportedly considering a smaller military presence in the Gulf while relocating key assets beyond the reach of Iranian missiles. According to the Wall Street Journal, Israel was among the locations being evaluated for hosting future US military facilities and critical infrastructure. Satellite images reviewed by the Wall Street Journal reportedly showed extensive damage across the US Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. The base, located roughly 240 kilometers from Iran, has long served as Washington's principal naval hub for operations across the Gulf region. The report said the strikes damaged command centers, pier facilities, warehouses, and at least 12 other buildings across the military complex. One US official reportedly said the 5th Fleet headquarters was no longer operational following the Iranian missile strikes. The Wall Street Journal said repairs to the 5th Fleet headquarters alone were estimated to cost approximately $200 million. Total reconstruction costs were reportedly estimated at around $386 million, excluding damage to military equipment and operational assets. A security forces training building was destroyed, while housing, dining, and emergency response facilities also sustained significant damage. The Wall Street Journal said some of the damaged buildings may never be rebuilt as Washington reassesses its long-term regional military strategy. Officials were reportedly considering underground command centers and a wider dispersal of military assets to improve survivability. The report said Washington was also reviewing its military presence in Kuwait and Saudi Arabia following the Iranian attacks. Amid rising tensions around Hormuz, another mystery strike has rattled global shipping routes, putting captains and insurers back on high alert. On June 25, a cargo vessel was reportedly hit by an unknown projectile in the Strait of Hormuz, adding a fresh incident to an already tense waterway. The UK's Maritime agency said the impact damaged the ship's bridge off Oman's southern coast, leaving visible scars but no immediate sign of who fired. According to UKMTO, the incident took place about 7.5 nautical miles southeast of Dahit, right along one of the busiest corridors for regional traffic. The ship's master reported no casualties and no pollution despite the damage to the bridge, a narrow escape that still underscored how close this came to disaster. UK maritime officials say the projectile has not yet been identified or attributed, leaving open the question of whether a state or proxy was behind the attack. In the aftermath, 3 vessels, including 2 major oil supertankers, reportedly abandoned planned Hormuz transits via Oman, choosing caution over risk. Notably, The attack hit just as oil prices were dipping and Hormuz traffic was edging back toward pre-war volumes, threatening to undo fragile market calm. Just a week earlier, on June 17, another ship was attacked off Yemen's coast, suggesting a broader pattern of strikes along the region's critical sea lanes. A commercial shipping vessel came under attack from armed assailants near Yemen's port city of Aden on June 17. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, or UKMTO, reported the security incident in waters close to Aden. According to UKMTO, the confrontation took place roughly 105 nautical miles, or 194 kilometers, northeast of Aden, Yemen. United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations said, and I quote, UKMTO has received a report of an incident 105 nautical miles northeast of Aden, Yemen. A vessel has been approached to within 4 meters and fired upon by 2 skiffs with an unknown number of armed persons on board. The vessel has deployed security team and returned fire. The suspect skiffs have now disengaged and are in excess 4 nautical miles of the vessel. The crew are safe. Vessels are advised to transit with caution and report any suspicious activity to UKMTO, while authorities are investigating. End quote. Authorities have yet to establish which group or organization was responsible for carrying out the attack on the vessel. Earlier, 2 merchant ships were also reportedly targeted by armed skiffs operating off Yemen's coastline, according to UKMTO. Meanwhile, the IRGC Navy has ordered ships to use only Iran-approved transit routes through Hormuz, a move that tightens Tehran's practical control over who passes and how. The force said any transit outside officially designated shipping corridors is prohibited, according to Press TV. In a June 25 statement, the IRGC described the use of unauthorized routes as both unacceptable and potentially dangerous. The Navy said all vessels must coordinate with Iranian authorities before entering or transiting the waterway. The warning came days after Chief Negotiator Bagher Ghalibaf pledged what he called a new reality in Hormuz. Iran's parliament speaker said the crucial shipping lane would never return to its pre-war operating conditions. The issue of Hormuz restrictions remains one of the most sensitive unresolved matters, following the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. The agreement signed by Washington and Tehran seeks to halt the cycle of escalation, confrontation, and retaliation. Under the MOU, Iran agreed to facilitate commercial shipping through the corridor during a 60-day implementation period. However, Tehran has repeatedly stressed that safe passage remains conditional on coordination with Iranian authorities. The latest IRGC warning reinforces Iran's intention to strictly enforce those requirements and navigation conditions.